Hey, welcome to Cultivating Clarity. We're your hosts, Talei and Ximena, and this is where your journey to self-discovery and fulfillment begins. In each episode, we are going to explore the worlds of creativity, purpose, and community to bring you inspiring stories and practical advice on how to live a life true to yourself. So let's get intentional, let's be vulnerable, but most importantly, let's have some fun along the way.
I love it. Okay, cool. Hey, Ximena, did you know that your body is trying to guide you?
Tell me all about it. Tell me.
This is something, another question for you.
Okay.
Have you ever learnt something new? And then once you've learnt it, you've thought, oh my goodness, that's so obvious. Why didn't I know this before? Have you ever had those moments?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely,
Because
yeah.
this is where I've been having one, and it's around that first question that I asked you, like, did you know that your body's trying to guide you? It's trying to help you. And a couple of weeks ago, a friend shared this book with me called Wild Power, and it's all
Okay.
about the menstrual cycle that us
Oh.
girls go through.
Mhm.
And you know, it's kind of been this like taboo topic, right? You never talk about it. You
Yeah.
kind of just like, for me, I know that there's been like, you know, like, oh, there's kind of like been like this shame thing around it. And you kind of just,
Yeah.
you never
Mhm.
talk about it. You just kind of keep going.
Yeah.
And what I learned was we operate in cycles.
Okay.
And when I heard this, I was like, we do.
We totally do. Yeah.
Right. And once I digested that, it became so obvious because if you zoom out and look at the world, right, we have seasons
We do.
and they each have their purpose. And so
Yes.
understanding that we also operate in cycles and seasons was this massive light bulb moment for me. Which seemed so obvious once I learned it, but I just never realized it before because I had been living so linear, right? And what I mean by that is
Yeah.
like, there's this goal, there's this objective, I'm going to work towards that, and I'm going to go with it with this big energy. And then when I get tired along the way or drop off, I feel like, oh, I failed.
Yeah.
And I
Makes sense.
go into this self-criticism cycle. But
Wow.
understanding that we work in cycles and there's a rhythm to our lives and even like a monthly rhythm. Oh my goodness, it gave me so much understanding and permission to honor those rhythms that happen.
Wow.
That's what I mean by like, did you know that your body's trying to guide you? So
Yeah.
that's what I wanted to just dive into a little bit before. But have you noticed that in your life? Have you noticed the rhythms or the patterns
It's
happening?
fascinating. Yeah, what you're saying is so fascinating. And I think, if I'm really honest, I think I've been one of those that hasn't talked about it really. And also, if there has been any sort of awareness of me needing to slow down or change my pace, it's just been the result of being tired. It hasn't been out of a place of understanding, but rather an experience of like, oh, something's wrong. I have to stop. So it's been more like the result of not listening. And yeah, so I feel like you're just gonna bless my little socks here because because I feel like I need this. And I wonder, like, how much of a difference this could make. Because another thing that I was telling you just in our little chats is I see a huge difference when I enjoy sunshine and when I move my body and when I hydrate, but I have never put them together to think, "Ooh, this is all part of something." So yeah, I would love to hear any story that you have, any experience that revealed this theory for you into a real fact. And how did you like discover it? Like how did you connect it?
Yeah. It was really, this book really opened up a lot for me, right? And
Okay.
we'll link it in the show notes if anyone's
Yeah,
interested. And we're not
please.
sponsored or anything, but we'll link it in the show notes because it just opened, it really opened up my mind to some really obvious things. Like I said, like we live in cycles, but also we are spirit, soul, and body, right? We're three parts, but often we address them separately. We have our spiritual life, and then we have like, our personal development, our mindset, and those sorts of things. And then we have like our body over here. But
Yeah.
actually, they're all so intricately connected. I don't know if I'm saying that word right, but they're like, the way that God's designed us is so like, all of the little threads and details are all connected. And
Yes.
so separating them just seems crazy, but that's how I've been living my whole
Yeah.
life,
Yeah.
because our society really tends to celebrate that really high energy, that go-getter energy, that like, let's be like positive, let's smash it, let's hit the goal, da, da, da. And what I learned was, okay, so if we're just going to talk about the, like, I'll just give a snippet of the menstrual cycle, right? And what I
Okay, go
learned
on. Yeah.
is that there are these 4 seasons that we go through,
Mm-hmm.
right? Winter, autumn, summer, spring. And so when you start your period, that's winter. And if you think about winter in just like seasons, that's a time when you kind of like retreat and you kind of like go inwards and you get cozy, and it's kind of like introvert kind of time.
Yeah.
And this is a time when we really slow down. It's when our bodies kind of like depower. We don't have that like go, go, go energy. And when we try and operate in a go, go, go energy during that season in our cycle, we burn ourselves out.
Mm.
But when we honor that time and go, okay, this is a time to retreat, it's a time to reflect, it's a time to create, it's a time when we're actually really like, all ideas come to us and we're super creative and we get solutions to problems, and all of these incredible things happen in winter
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
by taking the time to slow down.
Wow.
And I'm like, wow, that's incredible. And then as you move into spring, your energy starts to build again. And in spring, in real life, you see the flowers starting to come to life. And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
wow. If
Beautiful.
they didn't
Mm-hmm.
have that winter time to rest, there isn't enough energy to sustain in that
Wow.
spring and that energy building. And then summer is like full on go, go. It's when you're at your like, highest energy. It's when you like, this is the best time to start to schedule your presentations and your interviews
Mm-hmm.
and your social life,
Yeah.
right? So have you
Mm-hmm.
ever booked things in advance with your friends or did a big things, and then you get there and you're like, oh, I don't really,
Yeah.
I don't
Oh my
really wanna,
gosh, yes.
I don't have the
Yes.
energy for this, because we probably booked that when we're in our summertime of our, monthly cycle. And then it falls
Totally.
into the winter season when we have our period and it's meant to be a retreat time. And we're all out of sync. So understanding what is happening in our body connects
Yeah.
us to these rhythms that can bring us greater clarity. And imagine what life would look like if we started to listen to what our body's telling us and schedule our lives in alignment, in sync with these different cycles that we go through in a month. That could be really powerful.
Absolutely. Well,
When we,
imagine
yeah,
like, of course, like when like going out on a winter's day without a coat. I think it's just like that. Or like going with a coat when it's summertime and you're sweating. Like I think there is such an interesting message just in nature. And I think our bodies are part of nature, they're part of creation.
Yeah.
And they couldn't be more intentional. Our bodies are so wonderful. They really are. And
Yeah.
just like creation is so wonderful. And I always think of the trees when they are losing their little leaves, and I think like, wow, they're just on time. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're never like late. They're just on time, but it's so natural. It's not forced. And yet we try to sometimes, like you were saying, live our lives at the same pace, at a linear pace that is like, and it can be so unrealistic. It can be so just like not very much achievable, and we can feel so discouraged. So how beautiful, pardon, how beautiful it is that we can actually like celebrate and honor, the season we're in. That's amazing.
It is so amazing. And, as you mentioned, the leaves falling off the trees in winter, think about that imagery for a second. Like if you're in a forest, all the leaves have fallen down onto the ground. What happens all of a sudden is you can see all the way through the trees.
Yeah.
You get clarity, a new type of clarity. And there is a time in the month for us women to gain that clarity and to come back and to recharge. And so
Beautiful.
in this book, it breaks down those 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer, autumn, and how the autumn season is that PMS that has such a bad rap and like moody women, da 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 da. But there's even power in that, in understanding that it's a time to reflect. It's a time to review the month. It's a time to let go of things that are not you anymore.
Wow.
Right. And so, and it's a time where you're actually really spiritually aware, and you're able to see the connections between all these different things. And it's really, really powerful if we learn to harness it. But it's just been given such a bad label, and we haven't understood what it's there for, that, we kind of just like, I think that's why there has been shame, and there has been like, oh, we're just going to like push it to the side and soldier on, because guys, men don't go through a cycle like us. They live on a daily cycle, like with the daytime, nighttime. So they have a completely different energy pattern.
Okay.
And so when all of the systems that we currently live in and experience have been developed by men. And so us women are trying to like jam ourselves into this energy cycle that is completely not us. But if we learn to work together, because each side has power in it, and when you bring it together, it completes the picture, right? So I just think it's so interesting to understand what's happening in our bodies, understand that our bodies are trying to guide us and help us. Because I have burnt out. I've been burnt out, and I've been in this place where I've felt super guilty for stopping and for resting. And so understanding this has given me another layer of permission. Yeah. To pause and to understand that. And so this is what has happened for me, right? Because I've lived in this go energy all the time. When I'm going towards a new project or doing something, I'm like, right, yeah, I'm going to go get it. Da, da, da. And then I kind of like drop off a cliff with it, and don't have the energy to sustain it. Not understanding that that's just a cycle and my energy is going to come back. What would happen was I would spiral off into this doom space of, I'm a failure, I suck, I can't do anything, I have no consistency. But it's actually, no, I do. But there's a cycle that is happening that is really, really important. And when we can catch these pieces, it actually helps us to propel, succeed, have greater clarity, work and live in a way where we have a rhythm to life that is sustainable.
Mm.
And
Sounds amazing.
it's just
Yeah.
so powerful.
Yeah. It sounds amazing, and I think it's gonna take away so much pressure. It's gonna remove a lot of the judgment and the heaviness that sometimes we just carry. Because yeah, I think discouragement is a big piece that, when we don't fulfill, when somebody's, doing a diet or whatever it is, and then they didn't understand, and then they started to eat again, but they didn't know perhaps that that is an element of that little season of winter or autumn. And like, how much better it would be if you knew and then you just prepare for it. It's just really great. And I love how you can apply it for everything, because you're saying our bodies, our minds, and our soul are all connected. So truly we can make use of this wisdom for all of these areas, to have understanding of our emotions, of our energy levels, of the functioning of our bodies. And that is really amazing. So Talei, why don't you give us 3 takeaways that we can remember, go and study, and write it down somewhere that we can remember? What would you say are the main 3 things we can take away from today?
Main 3 things. Okay, number 1 is your body is trying to guide you and help you win.
Beautiful.
Trying to help you. Number 2 would be we operate in cycles. And when we can understand this, we can set our lives up to ebb and flow in a rhythm that is sustainable. And it's a game changer. And something that you have said, Ximena, and I think this is key takeaway number 3, which I think is simple yet so profoundly powerful. Number 3 key takeaway is honor your body and take a nap.
Yes.
Take a nap. It's life-changing. It's
I
something
really
that I don't think you've said it on this episode, but you have said it before, and that is take a nap. And you've told me, like, I feel no guilt
life-changing.
about taking a nap. So can you just speak to that for a second?
Of
Like,
course.
oh,
Listen. Honestly, I feel like for me, it has been a revelation, because we can all do it. And even if you fall asleep or not, just to like lay down. Oh, it's so powerful, because you're telling everything. You're telling your emotions, your mind, your body that it is well, that you can just rest. And I'm just reminded of the story of Jesus, where everybody is on a boat and there is this huge storm and he's just having a nap. And I'm like, if the creator and savior of the world took a nap in the middle of a storm, we can, it could just happen. So is powerful, and it is a safe place that we can all just create for ourselves and just rest. Just don't fill it with more noise. Don't go and look for something else to do. Try and slow down and try and be present and try and just rest and clear your mind and let your body get up again. It will. So yeah, that's the takeaway.
I love it. Take a nap. And you know
Take a
what's
nap.
interesting about the story that you just shared?
Yeah.
If you look in Mark 4, because
Okay.
all of the, a couple of the Gospels tell the story, but in Mark 4, it's really interesting because it says Jesus was asleep on a cushion. And I just love that is the only place. The other stories say, oh, Jesus was asleep in the middle of the storm.
Yeah.
Mark 4 says he was asleep on a cushion. So he was not only resting, he was comfortable. And that is a profound light bulb moment, if we can catch it, is there can be rest and comfort in the middle of a storm.
Yeah.
Kind to yourself. Your body is trying to help you win. Honor it, listen to it. Know that we work in cycles. And yeah, like if there's take a nap.
Taking that. Go ahead. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Talei, this has been incredibly just enriching and so wise. I feel like, oh, yeah, so grateful. And I just want to thank you for, talking about it, because it does cultivate clarity in a big area of everyone's life. Every woman is going to feel like, oh my goodness,
And
this
every
is great.
guy. Like if you're in a marriage relationship, like in a relationship, and you can understand what your partner is going through, and you can link up your lives, oh my gosh, that is like exponential, explosive amazingness in every area. Like so it's powerful for everyone to actually understand this information.
I love it so much. Well, this has been incredible, and I just want to thank as well everybody that's listening, and please let us know what your thoughts are on this subject and what have been some of the lessons, and how do you cultivate those little seasons? What do you do to get your energy out all the way? What do you do to retreat a little bit? Because we're all different, but we can learn from each other so much. And we have learned from you today, Talei, and thank you for that, my friend.
Yeah, thank you.
See you next time, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Cultivating Clarity. We hope you found some inspiration, had a good laugh, and maybe found a new perspective. Make sure you subscribe to stay up to date with our latest episodes. And if there was something you particularly liked in this show, please share it with a friend. We'd also love to connect with you on social, so come and find us at Intentional Studios and I Am the Freedom Collective for more fun and insights. Links are going to be in the show notes. And if you have a topic that you would like us to cover, drop us a message or a comment. And remember to keep cultivating your clarity and appreciate the small joys in life. See you next time. Bye-bye.